Today's episode of The Hustling Agent, we have Mark Zawada, better known as Mark Z. Mark runs a tremendous business in Detroit, Michigan. Multiple different kinds of businesses. Always a smart guy, puts out killer content, and I'm sure you're going to get something out of this talk with him. Check it out. All right, folks. Today I'm here with my esteemed colleague, somebody I've only known for about 6-7 months, but have a ton of respect for, Mark Z out of Detroit, Michigan. Mark, what's going on?
What's going on, Suneet? How are you?
Good, man. Just making it happen. So I want people to know all about you and see all the great stuff you're doing, but not on this podcast / show right now. So what's a good link for people to look you up so they can find out more about you? Let's just get it out of the way now.
Yeah, find me on Instagram at Sold by Mark Z. So Sold by Mark Z on Instagram. That's the best way to find me. A lot of training videos, information packed. So find me there.
And it's probably one of the coolest realtor Instagram pages that I follow. So
thanks.
Good job.
Thanks,
some of those houses are amazing that you post on there.
Yeah.
So, Mark and I were talking before I hit the record button and we were getting deep into it. So I said, let's stop and just hit the record button now. So Mark, what are you seeing in your local market of Detroit, Michigan?
We're one of the few, I don't know if we're the only, but one of the very few that we're not named essential out here.
Oh.
So yeah, we're not one of the privileged ones. So that was a huge turn of events for us. We had to pivot and adapt real quick. We had to get our owners to take their cell phones and do some videos of the home. We brought Matterport to as many listings as we could. That's allowing buyers to see the homes virtually. But believe it or not, we're still seeing offers. I was just talking to an agent this morning. I've never talked to my team more than I have during this. Yeah. Communication is key. If you're not up in your communication game, then I feel like you're really going to be far behind. So talked to an agent this morning. She's got 3 under contract this month, and most of the offers they're making them sight unseen, contingent upon looking at it during the home inspection.
Yeah.
And so you got to adapt. You got to pivot. What's going to be the next new normal, right? So, when everyone keeps saying, when we get back to normal, we get back to normal. I don't know that we're going to get back to normal pre-corona. It's just going to be the new normal, right? Yeah. And so we're going to have to adapt to that.
So you're still seeing offers on listings. That's great. My offers on my listings has gone down enough to where my inventory is starting to feel a little high. And I feel your pain. The first 2 weeks in California, California's been having the lockdown way longer than pretty much the rest of the country. The first 2 weeks, we were non-essential as well. And what the heck do you do, right?
Right.
So are your agents, so on the buy side, your agents are just asking the listing agents for a Matterport or a virtual tour from the seller?
We're just getting nothing fancy. We're happy with just a seller just walking around the home with a video, just to get an idea of the floor plan, what we're working with, things like that.
What are you seeing as far as like leads and online activity?
Online activity is probably our number one source for leads right now. It's nowhere near what it was. Our Zillow leads are probably 50%, but
less.
But we're good with 50% right now. So, it's better than nothing.
Sure.
So we're keeping our online budget going. We're still doing, pay-per-clicks and, the Zillow and everything we had, YLOBO, all the online lead generation, because we feel like that's where the eyeballs are. I mean, you're sitting at home, you got nothing else to do besides watch TV or online. I'm a big advertiser on TV. However, with what's going on right now, it's just cost prohibitive.
Yeah, and
to be on TV.
Something else, yeah, because TV is pretty expensive. Something else that we were saying before we got on here was that, you're kind of known for billboards and radio and also TV. But I was talking to a local agent who loves radio, and I'm all, bro, like, no one's in their car, right? Like, who's going to look at a billboard if you don't leave the damn house?
Right. Right. Yep. Exactly. So you got to pick and choose. Right now, the eyeballs are online and TV, and online is just way cheaper than TV right now. So online's where it's at. Our social media is blowing up. Man, my Instagram account's grown, gosh, like 10x in the last 3 weeks.
Really?
Just because that's where everybody's at right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at, right? I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
same with you, right?
Absolutely.
So, you guys are non-essential out there. Deals are still happening. What is your advice for the run-of-the-mill real estate agent right now?
Yeah. Well, the big question I think that I probably get asked more than anything is history repeating itself? Is this the same as 2008? Right? Because, for most of the generation right now, that's all they have to reflect on is 2008. That was the last big recession.
Yeah.
And so when people think of, a recession, they think of 2007, 2008, when we had the market, the housing crash. And so, when I reflect on that and I look at the data, I don't know if I can show you the slides that I have, probably not on this.
You could
try. You want me to do a screen share?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can, I can do that. Okay. Share, right here. So.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at all this.
All right. So you can see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look at home appreciation, prior to 08, you can see it was abnormal, throughout the country. Rates of, homes appreciated like 12%, 11%. I mean, that's huge appreciation. It's not, typical. When you look at the last 4 or 5 years, prior to right now, you're seeing, 4.8, 4.7. You had one at 6.4, but appreciation wasn't as huge, right? So we weren't leading up to a housing bubble.
So I think something is wrong with your slide because it's just showing the folder. Did you want to open up a slide?
Oh, you can't see.
Try and escape and do a screen share again so it gets the current.
Oh, there we go.
I know, dude. All this tech right now is like so challenging.
How about that?
Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. So let me start over. So if you look at, 2003, 4, 5, leading up to the housing crash, you can see appreciation was huge. It wasn't typical. It wasn't average. You look at the last 4 or 5 years leading up to this, you're seeing 4.8, 4.7%, 6.4%, a little bit more, consistent. Leading up to the bubble, you see these huge increases, 12.5, 11.4.
Dude, 2004 was so crazy.
So crazy.
So much money in the refi game. It was insane.
Unbelievable. Now you look at months of inventory, in 07, we had 8.2 months of inventory. The signs were, all the stars were aligning to a housing crash. You look at today, we're averaging around 3.1, 3.1 months of inventory right now, which is low. We've been averaging here in Metro Detroit anywhere from 2 to 4. 3.1 is great.
Yeah.
Inventory is very low right now. Okay. Now, percent of median income needed to purchase a home. In 2006, before the bubble, you needed 25% of your income in order to buy a home. Okay. Today, 15%. People say, well, why? Well, a combination of two things. First of all, people have made more money the last few years, contrary to appreciation of homes, right? Also, interest rates right now. You get a rate between 3 and 4%. 06, 07, you're talking about rates 6, 7%.
Yeah, 6 was good.
Yeah, 6 was good. So, you're looking at, only 15% of your income in order to buy a home. That leaves a lot of disposable income at your fingertips.
That's a good slide right there. Yeah, for sure.
Now, people always ask, did we learn from our lesson in 08? Remember, people were over leveraged. Well, if you look at the amount of money that people took out of their homes in 2005, 2006, 2007, they took out $824 billion. Now, you look at the last 3 years, we only took out on average $232 billion. So 25%, which means that Americans have a lot more equity in their homes. So they did learn from the 2007, 2008 crash. They're not over leveraged. They say right now, most Americans are sitting between 50 and 60% equity.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
a
that.
lot of money left to refinance. If times get tough, they can pull the money out, and they're not over leveraged where they're upside down like 07, 08. If you remember, everybody was upside down.
The people were refinancing twice a year.
Yeah. And then when they needed it, when things crashed, they lost 20%, there was no equity to be had.
Yes, none. Zilch.
So again, little different situation right now. People have equity if they need to pull it. Now, the biggest thing is most people correlate a housing recession with home prices going down. Just because we have a recession doesn't necessarily mean that home prices are going to go down. If you look at the last 5 recessions from 1980 until 2008, only 2 out of the 5 did we have a decline in price, and one of them was 1.9%. That's nothing.
Yeah.
On a $300,000 house, you're talking about $5,000. Nothing. The other 3 home prices went up during the recession. Yep. Only in 08 did we lose that 20%. That was abnormal. Housing market crash. But so it's very, agents need to calm people down and let them know that, hey, listen, we could very well see a recession. We're probably due for one. We've had a very long bull market, okay, longer than normal. If we do hit a recession, that doesn't necessarily mean that home prices are going to decline. Again, home prices, whether they decline or not, it's based on supply and demand. If there's more supply than there is the demand, we will see a decrease in prices. Right now, all the stars, all the facts show that there's still a shortage of supply right now. So there's a good chance that we're going to see a recession coming up. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see home prices come down. Okay? So as an agent, look, we have four rules of business. 1, we prospect for new business. Number 2, we list properties. We show homes, write offers, negotiate contracts, and we close deals. Right now, 3 out of the 4 is slim and next to none. So right now, agents need to be prospecting for new business. They need to be filling that pipeline up, right? I don't feel like there's any lost business as of right now. Now, depending on how long this thing goes, that could be different. Right now, let's talk about the state of the economy right now. Right now, it looks like this thing is going to open up in the next 30 to 60 days. More than likely in the next 30 days, the way the president's talking. Assuming that's true, all the business that has been quote unquote lost is not really lost. It's just paused. It's been put on ice. Those people that have to buy are still going to have to buy. And those people that have to sell are still going to have to sell. So there's no business loss. It's just paused right now. Now the question is, are you going to get your unfair share? And that depends on whether you're talking to people, whether you're checking up on people right now. Because if you're not, another agent is. And when this thing opens up, there's going to be relationships that are going to be built and relationships that have been lost because you haven't stayed in touch and you haven't built your pipeline. So when this is all over, are you going to be the agent that's starting from ground zero and just starting to take off, just getting out of bed? Or are you going to be the agent that has 50 buyers and sellers lined up? And you're going to need a little team around you to help you out. You're going to need showing partners. Right now, agents got to start preparing. They got to start preparing for how they're going to handle their business because this thing's going to open up. It's going to open up and it's going to be like floodgates. You're going to have buyers, sellers, everybody wants to do business, and you're not going to be able to handle it.
Yep.
Now, if you're on a team, if you're surrounded by people who can help you, then you're going to have a huge competitive advantage because you're going to need showing partners. You're going to need people on that Saturday when you have 5 or 6 buyers that want to go out and see homes. You're going to need someone that's going to help you. Maybe you're going to have to give them a referral fee. Maybe you're going to have to split the commission. You're going to have to do something because you're going to have to be able to offer that service. You're not going to be able to handle the business. That's what I predict is going to happen.
Love it.
Okay. When you look at, and I don't base this on just, what I think. I base this on other people that have been through this before. So I'm basing it on history repeating itself. If you look at China, sales have tripled, their real estate market. It's gone crazy. Okay. So based on that, based on other areas, that's what we're looking at. Like I said earlier, communication is key. It's more important than anything else we can do right now. How many people can you call every day? And there's no scripts. Right now, throw all your scripts out. Right now, you're calling and you're checking on people. You're seeing how people are doing. Because you're a realtor, the subject is going to come up and they're going to ask you about the housing market. This is a time where you're calling and checking up on people. There's no scripts needed. Communication.
Give me an example of not a script, because we just said that you don't need a script. If you were to call me as someone in your sphere, what would you say?
Suneet, this is Mark Z, the real estate guy. How you doing today?
Doing good, man.
Good, good. Nice to hear from you. How's life been? How's quarantine? What's been going on with you? How you been handling this entire situation?
Man, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Working from home with the kids crawling all over, it's been quite a little bit of a challenge, and that's not a lie.
Yeah. No doubt, no doubt. So you get into that. They're going to ask how you're doing. Listen, being that I'm in real estate, I wanted to call all my clients and at least give them an update as to what's going on in the market. Everybody's curious about what's going on with home prices and what we think is going to happen. I just simply wanted to give you a call. First of all, check how you're doing. I'm glad you and the family are doing well. And second of all, just give you an update on the market. Prices right now are not any higher or lower than where they were. However, there is still buying and selling activity. There's still buyers out there. There's still sellers out there. We're still seeing transactions take place. I don't know if you had any plans of doing anything this spring or summer. But if so, I'll check back with you then. And other than that, just calling and checking up on all my friends and family.
Yeah, perfect. Love it.
That's it. That's it. Just a normal conversation like what you would have with friends and family. And they're going to bring up real estate.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So communication is huge. Adapt and get creative. Right now, you got to pivot. You got to be able to be quick on your feet. Right? Social media is huge. You can talk to masses right now through your social media channels. If you haven't been on social media, now's the time. You've got to do something different, and that's where all the eyeballs are at right now.
Love it.
And the last thing is, this is a great lesson for everybody, right? Because I think everybody always concentrates on how much money they make, and nobody ever focuses on how much money they save, right? People need to take a step back and realize you can't live off the seat of your pants. Okay, you've got to have reserves. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care what you're doing. You've got to have 3 to 6 months of reserves for times like this. For anything could happen,
Yep.
right? And most people don't. Most businesses are just totally caught off their feet right now. They don't even have 1 month of reserve, and they're talking about folding up and going out of business. I don't understand how people operate without having at least 3 months of reserve. Better to have 6, but times like this, everybody lives beyond their means in this country because we live off of credit, and that's all great. But you've got to have 3 to 6 months of reserve for your business. If you're a business owner, if you're a team leader, if you're just a single agent, this hopefully will change the world, and people will take a step back and realize that they need to have some reserves for whatever happens in life.
And it's a tough lesson, right? Because in 2007, man, I was getting bottle service twice a week, traveling all over, big house I didn't need, way too many cars I didn't need. And what happened? I got cracked.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I'm feeling like lots of agents these days either have amnesia to back then or just weren't in the game, right?
Yeah. Everybody thinks whatever happened this month, it's going to happen next month, the next month. And sometimes you get a roadblock. And, hey, listen, who's to say that this can't happen again? It could happen again, right? Next year, there could be a new virus, assuming we fix this virus. This could happen again. This could repeat itself. So hopefully people learn their lesson and have some reserves. We're okay just because we do have some reserves and our balance sheet is strong. So we're gonna get through this just fine. And I hope other people learn the lesson out of this and come out strong.
So, dude, that was a great presentation. Next question, and this is a selfish question because it's pertaining to what my role is. You are a team leader. You do run several businesses. What's your advice to not the agent, but the kind of top level people?
This is a time where you want to reach out to as many agents as you can. If you're a team leader like myself, we're not in the day-to-day business. I'm not, dealing with clients as much as I used to. So I'm trying to reach out to other agents and have a similar conversation, but check on an agent and see how they're doing, right? So instead of your clients, you should be calling other agents because a lot of agents are just lost right now. Their team leader has abandoned them. They don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to tell their agents. They provided very little value before. Imagine what kind of value they're providing right now, right? They have no reserves, so they don't even know if they're going to be able to open the doors again. They have no money coming in. It's just a mess for a lot of team leaders, and a lot aren't going to make it. They're not going to make it through this. They were, tottering before this, and this just set them off over the edge. So what an opportunity if you got a little bit of communication skills to be calling some realtors and seeing how they're doing and seeing if you can motivate them and give them some glimmer of hope. The good news is, because we're realtors, guess what? We're all guaranteed jobs.
Yeah.
Right? We don't got to worry about whether you're going to have a job or not. There's a lot of people, they have no clue if they're going to have a job when this thing opens up, right? We have a job. I mean, when I say this is the greatest industry in the world, it's the greatest industry in the world. The fact that you've got a guaranteed job, and it's up to who? You.
Exactly.
So, I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity. I think in 07, 08, you remember, we lost a lot of the riffraff. We lost a lot of the people who had no business being in this business, because it's nothing like what people see on TV, right? Millionaire real estate agent. I mean, that's not reality.
Nope.
That's fantasy land. They get in the business and they think it's all glitz and glamour, and they realize this will suck your living soul out of you. And so, this will happen again right now. A lot of people that were, just borderline are going to get out of the business, and people are going to take their business up another level.
Yep. This is the time when people rise up, right?
Yeah.
Right, is times of adversity. So let me ask you this, kind of my bonus question lately. You have 3 kids, am I right?
Yes.
How is it working from home?
Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I didn't know I'd like it so much. I do like it. I do like it a lot. I don't know that I would do this every day, but I did make a pact that at least a couple days a week I'm going to work from home.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
not all bad, but I do miss the office too. I think you got to get out. I'm a big believer in dressing up and showing up and getting into the office environment. But again, what's the new normal? If this thing does open up May 1st, are we going to just be rushing back into our office? I'm not. I don't know that I feel comfortable just running back out because the government says that we're good to. So it's all about adjusting to the new normal. We're going to be wearing face masks every time we go to the office, every time we
maybe, right?
Yeah.
Other question. So you travel and do stuff, you're always on a trip, some cool trip, it seems like.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're going to do once you can? What's your first thing you're doing after you're
we're huge travelers. I probably travel anywhere from 8 to 10 times a year. So love to take a trip again. But again, it's we have nothing planned. Don't know when that's going to happen again. Like I said, it's just adjusting to the new normal.
I canceled an Italy cruise last night. 2 places that you don't want to go after this. Friggin' Italy on a cruise. I canceled last night.
Yeah. Italy's probably the last place you want to end up going to. Yeah, but again, where's a good place? I don't even know where it's even safe to go right now.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, man?
No, I mean, other than get out there, get your head out of the sand, get your butt out of bed. Don't sit there and believe that nothing's going on, because I'm telling you, it's times like this where agents make moves. Agents start taking their unfair share of the market. Agents start making some big moves in this market. Just like Warren Buffett and all of the most successful people in the world, they say when everybody's buying, you want to be selling. When everyone's selling, you should be buying. In this market, a lot of people are going to be, laid back, thinking nothing's going on. And when this thing breaks open, there's going to be agents, there's going to be teams and brokerages that are going to just take over market share.
Yep. Well, that'll be me and you, right, brother?
Absolutely. We'll get our unfair share.
Once again, to get a hold of Mark, and I recommend you go follow him on Insta at Sold by Mark Z.
Yep. I appreciate it.
All right, man. See you soon. Thank you so much, Mark.
What did you think of Mark Z? I told you he was a badass. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next time on The Hustling Agent.